chances. And the way she's playing, retirement couldn't be further from her mind. Coach Carol Sykes must be delighted Keely's backing up again. Well, this represents a big test for Sharon Purser and Jackie Delaney, but this young pair haven't let Margang Gove down yet. Audine Cobb will see this as another chance to improve her flourishing reputation as an Australian player of the near future, and she gets great mid-court support from Sanders and Neal. With their Australian positions a little under pressure, Harvey and Sutter have responded resolutely and will look for another big effort here. Sarah Sutter will be 25 next month, and the PE teacher has this year taken on the vice-captain's responsibility. Australia's depth of quality defenders means she's had to lift to keep her position in the national team, and Jill McIntosh won't have missed the new commitment from Sutter. Her dice with Morgan today should be a beauty. Contax in the blue and in possession. And this should be an intriguing match. Really, I think it's going to be one at the end of court to our left, with Delaney and Purser giving away years and height to Finnan and Devry.
The other matchup of great interest is whether Sarah Sutter, Contax goalkeeper, can hold Jo Morgan. Sutter, of course, hasn't been well. She's got a big task ahead of her in this game.
So Sydney in possession. Nola Calnan from Perth and Janice McKercher from Winton near Invercargill, Southland, New Zealand, all the way across to do this match. We've seen Janice umpiring a number of important matches. So Sydney score the first after nearly a minute of play. Kosifas to Kenny to Morgan. Oh, and Sutter got back so quickly to take that rebound almost out of the hands of Cusack. Vicky Neal, Kath Harvey. Both teams 4 wins from as many starts.
That was run down by Delaney. A little sus whether she cleared a 3 feet distance around Finnan then, but she gets away with it.
Contact against Sanders. Turns away a little ruefully. Finnan. Darwood. Kenny. Cusack.
How often is it Kenny that finds the high ball to Morgan? That one rims it. Oh, Cusack from the ground, off the nose.
Well, they both had a go at it off balance. Great support by Cusack.
Sydney showing off early. Great intercept there from Darwood.
Morgan. Sutter, good hold. Morgan this time. Pretty ominous start from Sydney Energy. Defending champions, remember. Morgan. Great start from Jo Morgan. Sutter unable to do much about this. They're so versatile, the Sydney attack end. Cusack in the last match against Sydney Synovus, suddenly up to work rate, 33 from 42. That was the most goals she'd shot in any one match because Morgan was being marked by Liz Ellis. Maybe Morgan will be back up to her usual number of goals in this one.
Well, it's a good way for the Australian selectors to measure their defenders, particularly their keepers. When you have someone as dominant in the line as is Morgan, weigh up how much a keeper can restrict her in a game. You weigh up who's the better keeper.
Delaney.
Koskas has a poke at that one, but it's an obstruction call.
Sharon Purser.
Really have to wonder how Purser will hold up to Keely Devry. It's my opinion that Devry's had the measure on Purser in other outings and can really put her off her timing on the shot.
Cobb accused of the step. So Sydney possession.
Shuttle pass.
He's cannoning around there, but most painfully off Sarah Sutter's face.
She was an innocent bystander there.
Jo Morgan. Cusack. Kenny. Well, once again, Kenny, inch perfect with a high delivery to Joe Morgan. Sutter not giving away that much height. It's Morgan at 189 centimetres, Sutter 182.5. It's enough to make a difference.
Maybe we should be measuring the length of arm as a factor.
Hold, wing defence.
Vicky Neal, pick for the hold.
Obstruction, shuttle pass.
Harvey took the jump and then stayed defending the shot once she'd landed. No effort to clear.
Sydney making the impressive start in front of their home crowd.
And how close is the marking of Sharon Finnan? And she pulls the throw in as well. It's that close marking that will wear Delaney.
Morgan. Kenny. Dalwood.
Contact, shuttle pass.
Contact against Harvey.
That's the feature of this Sydney Energy team, the way Dalwood and Kenny work the outside of the circle to open up spaces and give time and patience to their shooters.
Cusack for 3 straight.
Yes, Cusack 3 straight. Morgan with 5 from 8.
Shuttle pass, Goldie.
Which is shabby for her.
6 from 9.
Carnage, breaking.
Sydney enjoying a big home crowd advantage, and it's quite well known now that their entire... The sponsor often brings many from the company to watch them play, so they really enjoy their team.
Delaney. Devry.
Carnage.
Hungry for the rebounds again. Finnan. Gossifus.
Contact centre.
Sanders getting in underneath Dalwood. She's put out of play. Cusack with the ability to fake it. Keeps a shot. Doesn't pay off.
Harvey on the fly. Loves to come up to that transverse line if she can. Neal, Sanders, Purser. Cobb. Devry once more. Delaney looks away in disgust.
Contact out of fence, penalty pass.
Sue Kenny meet Catherine Harvey.
Yes, a gasp there, but the noise, I think, was just hand on ball, not the actual contact.
Hold time.
Sounded worse than it was.
On the whistle. Go to fence. Wait till the ball's released.
Harvey a little too quick off the blocks. Must stay out of play until the ball leaves the hands of the person taking that penalty.
Contacts allowing Sydney to be whistled up the court.
That feed turned Morgan around, and perhaps that's why she's a little off balance for the shot. Cusack tidies up the work, and what a lead.
That's a big lead early for Sydney Energy. 7.5 minutes gone, first quarter, so it's exactly halfway through.
If they can continue with this pace and with this lead, uppermost in their minds will be the fact that they've done this before, but they went to sleep later on in the game, so that'll be their task. Maintaining concentration.
Audine Cobb.
Obstruction, creeping out wing defence.
Cobb to Delaney.
Penalty pass the shot. Remain quiet and silent penalty, thank you.
Very polite umpire, isn't she?
Bad to say, one of the
Janice
few
McCurcher.
umpires that gives you a big smile as she puts you out of play.
A very pleasant disposition, Janice.
Hey.
Sanders to Cobb. And back.
Contacts will want to remedy the amount of missed shots they put up, because Devry is lethal under the post. She's in fine rebounding form.
I'm sure Contacts have not been restricted to 3 goals in 9 minutes of play, especially the opening 9 before.
Hey.
Like Sydney, they have 4 wins. Cusack.
Contact, goal attack.
Cobb. Harvey. Sanders.
Carnage, contact.
Purser. They need a goal or 3.
Devry very quick to get the hand over. She knows she's putting Purser under pressure. Purser already changing the timing on a shot, which is normally very quick. She's put up 2 from 4. I think the pressure's starting to show. Again, Devry under the post. She's claimed the ground.
Contact against Cobb. 2 in as many seconds against Contax. Harvey to Neal.
Advantage obstruction. Go in.
And a rare poor disposal from Kath Harvey.
Just there.
Noel Cullen sets the spot. Finnan takes it.
Replay.
Well, I'd looked to where the pass was going and I missed that replay.
I just heard the call. I was the same, watching the judgment of the pass over to Dalwood.
Which was off as well.
No joy.
Contact.
Contact against Cusack. Quite a lot of whistle in the first quarter. First would have loved to have taken that at the first attempt, then she could have shot. Now it's Delaney.
And you see her stepping to draw some free room around Finnan.
Unusual execution, that one, but effective.
Well, shooters often practice to step to the side or step back to clear space from the defender, but most like to shoot from a balanced stance. Delaney, though, has missed the last 4 on the trot before that one, so she needed to look for something different.
Goal shoot. Penalty pass. Elbow.
Use of elbow against Purser. She doesn't like the call, and it gives Sydney another chance.
Devry has to look to Dalwood, who
Penalty pass.
was matched for pace by Sanders.
Really tucked herself inside. Dalwood had front position, but contacted on the approach to the ball and pressure over Kenny. Delaney too close.
There's a penalty count there, Anne.
Zooming out to Contax. They're 15, only 10 against Energy.
Joe Morgan
Advantage obstruction.
and Carol Sykes in the green is entitled to be reasonably pleased.
Saw a sign in the crowd that said, "Sykes, you don't go." Carol Sykes looking to end her coaching at the end of this season. And she'll be emotional, not a lot. Coaches with a passion. I'm sure she's enjoying this opening.
Story about her in the press recently certainly drew some high praise from the players who've been under her. They say that she really brings out the best in them. What a privilege for her to be working with so many current and recent Australian players. Cusack.
Delightful ball from Dalwood.
Throw in.
Deserved Cusack to attack the post.
Play.
3 minutes left, first quarter. Contacts in some trouble. Vicky Neal. Nadine Cobb.
There was a Melbourne journalist early in the season alluded to the aging legs of the Sydney Energy team. I think all the other teams should have a go at that person, because if anything, it's given them a reason to play hard and strong.
Mara Gangove and Vicky Wilson with some thinking and planning and plotting to do. And the Contax bench did run very well against the Institute, but you'd be not expecting the same kind of result against this Sydney lineup.
I think you'd be loath to put it out this early. I mean, they've got their best available players on court and they're struggling. You would perhaps give them the benefit of trying to sort out their timing before you went down the line of the bench. We did see Obst come out at goal attack, and we saw Oates come at centre, and Branford at the back. The back line for Contax very quiet. In other matches, they've been what's kept the team in the game. But it's been over the top of Sutter, and she's had little to offer to prevent it. And Cusack too, swinging around Harvey comfortably.
Cobb, Kossifus attending, Sanders on the fly.
Good touch from Dalwood, and it's backed up from Finnan.
Finnan, quick hands to grab that chance. Kenny.
Oh, that's magical. That's superb netball from Sydney Energy.
Well, it doesn't matter who you support. You'd have to support that as one of the better players.
Look at the magic here from Sydney Energy. Dalwood left-handed to Kenny. Beautiful bullet from Kenny to Cusack.
almost a shame to watch it in slow motion. It was so quick in real vision. Finnan touches it out. Well, I see Kenny still has about the quickest hands in netball.
And a great touch. He knows not to put too much on it when it just needs a delicate placement. Also great to see them use their flowing game and their speed game, their moving game, rather than just always an aerial approach to Morgan. And I think that's a difference in Sydney Energy this year. They're not obsessed with the high placement to Morgan, which saw everything around her change their style of netball just to accommodate her. I think they're mixing it far better. And I know they've done a lot of work with her in the off-season on movement, and I think it's paying dividends.
Well, Delaney and Purser have attracted their share of whistle too, and it's created turnovers when they're looking for rebounds. And that's the end of the first quarter. I think Sydney Energy will be pleased enough with that scoreline. 14-8 they lead Contax at the first break. Carissa Dalwood has the ball in hand for the start of the second quarter, one which begins with Sydney Energy 6 goal leaders. Good first quarter.
Joe Morgan 9 from 13 at 69%. Nikki Cusack, the one with the accuracy, 83%, 5 from 6. Adelaide Contax 16 attempts, so they're not far off the pace of Energy. They haven't been able to convert though. Purser 4 from 6 at 66, and Delaney, sad story, at 4 from 10, 40%.
It's 19 shots to 16. Not that great a difference.
Again, Devry thwarting Purser's shot.
Well, in their most recent match, Purser and Delaney shot 82 and 72% respectively. I think we have to give some credit to Devry and Finnan. Pressure over the ball and the shot. Oh, what a backup from Cusack. Everything running Sydney's way. Morgan drops about 2 balls a match.
And this one with too much on it for Morgan, slips over the top of Sutter. Cusack, though, speed on the baseline to regather. And a little smile on her face to boot.
Morgan will claim that as a pass later. Jackie Delaney shoots over Finnan. Kenny, oh, Cusack open.
Almost the same spot. Cusack is enjoying that little area around the post.
She's getting a little too much freedom for Margengo's satisfaction, I'm sure.
Contax, you can just see they're trying to lift the pace. They play the ball from the centre pass, if I can cross to another sport, has been really quick, the taking of the centre. There's a new urgency about getting it down. I thought that was lacking in the first quarter. They love the run-on game, but a couple of times Harvey found the drive through the middle, but there was nobody backing it up with speed on the next move.
Sutter takes a rebound.
Kenny decides to thwart Harvey's run. Kenny giving Contax a bit of their own with that type of play.
Sanders, Delaney.
They sat back on that shot. Delaney enjoys it, 4 straight for her.
Adage, breaking wing attack. Contact, wing defender, centre third. Centre third.
This is a steadier start to the quarter from Contax. They actually hold at 4-3 through the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, no use discounting them early on because they have the ability to run it down. Just ask Garville, who saw a lead slip from their fingers and a loss eventuate.
It's 49-47. Contax beat Garville, and they were behind for, what, 9/10 of the match?
Yep.
Contact centre, blooping pass.
Timed it to the whistle.
Adage, contact.
There's the experience in the Sydney Energy line. Dalwood will not be forced to deliver when it's not there. She swung it to Kenny and move it around till it's available.
Cusack takes it sweetly.
She's matching stats with Delaney for this quarter. They're both 4 from 4. So Delaney's really lifted from the first quarter. We've seen her quite inconsistent quarter to quarter in goals, and they need her firing if they're going to do it. Cusack was looking to Morgan, but it wasn't on first up.
Stopped the pass, and of course that's the replay.
again, Contax looking to rev up the drive to the circle.
Purser. Over Devry. Now Margengo looks a little happier.
Mark trying to rev them up, and you can see Purser far more comfortable when she lets the quick release go on the shot. When she stops and thinks about it, the timing's gone.
Contact against Dalwood. Delaney has to shoot because Purser had to get herself up off the ground. Devry to Finnan. Dalwood. Cusack. Well, Kenny let that go so quickly. I'm just amazed at her skills sometimes. She had no time to really think and measure the pass, but it had to be spot on.
That's what makes the lob effective, because if it comes out of the hands slow, it takes too long to come down to the player, and it gives the defenders time to get up there. It's a quick release out of the hands and the confidence, and putting it to the space beyond that makes it a superb pass.
Dalwood.
Back
Yes,
up from
Finnan. Well, they
And
make
the
you think
reply
like...
from Cobb. Not to be outdone.
Sometimes these teams give you the impression there are 7 players playing with one brain. They just don't seem to know where each other is.
Choreographed netball.
Yeah. Finnan to Kenny. Finnan to Dalwood.
Again, Morgan's hands let her down. Hasn't been too much pressure from Sutter. No need for that one to go through.
Attack, Connie pass.
And it's advanced through an obstruction call against Nikki Cusack.
Neil to Delaney now.
Good watching from Delaney. Devry had eyes only for Delaney's move and didn't quite see the speed of that return on court.
Now Simone McInnes there on the left and Eloise Southby on the right. They're obviously in town for an Australian squad training camp. Two Victorians sitting together. Kenny. Sydney's lead back to just 2. It was 6 at quarter time.
Sutter comes to life. One of the few touches she's had of the ball to date in the match.
Advantage, contact, then offside wing defence.
Cusack once more.
5 straight for Cusack. That was a fine shot, and they needed it because Contax is chiseling away at the lead. Audine Cobb's come to life in the second quarter. Jimmy Kosofas having some difficulty containing Cobb's speed.
Good leap out of court from Purser to dish it off to Delaney. Dalwood, and quite a contrast in the way the two teams are taking the set of passes. Dalwood just walks to the circle. Sanders is in a hurry when it's her turn. Joe Morgan.
Throw in, it's a throw in. Throw in. Thank you. Play.
Joe Morgan with only 4 shots in the second quarter. She's netted only 1 of them. And they need her to stay in the game. Her performance is crucial to the outcome for Sydney.
Contact's a little unlucky there. They needed to convert just to reduce it to a
big
lead of 1.
Between Delaney and Finnan in back play. Slow to get to their feet. They're still walking.
Right, play on.
And not talking.
Yeah.
Arnage, offside in contact.
Dalwood. Kenny to Cusack.
Sydney bench. Nat Reid in the middle, clapping, applauding his side. It's a birthday today. 20 years old, or young. Happy birthday, Natty.
Sanders to Delaney and Cobb.
Wonder too whether it might be worth giving Nat Reid a chance in one of these matches. She's a fine wing defence, young coming through. And she is an option for them in defence. And the more time they can give her, should she be needed.
Joe Morgan just checked the feet, make sure she was inside the circle, turned and shot from way out. Lead is 4. Can't shoot from out there. She probably would if she could. Doesn't mind the long bomb.
Yes, thank you. 5, free pass.
Darwood happy to let Vicky Neal step in offside.
Contact,
Well,
penalty pass or
Sutter
shot.
took head and all then.
Just letting Joe know she's there.
Just checking to see if the head's still attached. Delaney straight through Finnan. Used the elbow as she offloaded the ball then. Finnan may well have been within distance, but quite a physical game developing between these two.
Sanders disappeared out the back of the court. Signage being replaced.
Whistle. Play.
Both Finnan and Devry with knees strapped. They look a bit like bookends. One's the left, one's the right.
Kosifis just gets Audine Cobb out of the way in a not too subtle manner.
Contact, wing it, goal attack. Penalty pass, due pushing.
Oh, and that one's against Nikki Cusack,
Back
and
to
Carol
throw,
Sykes
there,
can't
thank you.
believe it.
Advantage.
Carol Sykes right near Janice McKercher. I'm sure she kept the criticism to herself. Coaches don't let umpires hear anything, do they?
Contact, goal attack.
Contact against Jackie Delaney. Devry takes it to Finnan to Darwood. Finnan drives up the midcourt. Gets it a third time.
Darwood just so balanced as she takes the ball and steadies to deliver. Rarely do you see her shaking as she offloads. Jo Morgan recovered from a shaky starting goal. She's put the last 3 in straight. Not a convincing quarter from her. Penalty count still against Contacts. They have attracted 11. Sydney Energy just the 5. Swisher from Morgan.
7 is Sydney's lead, so after being pegged back to 2 and had possession for 1, Contacts have let it slip again. Purser rattles it in. 4 minutes left in the second quarter.
Advantage, contact.
Cusack, Darwood, Kenny.
Advantage, obstruction.
Sutter wearing Morgan like a glove.
Contact, penalty pass. Shot.
Contact against Sutter.
Okay.
And jumps in to make sure of that rebound. Harvey, Delaney.
Advantage, obstruction.
Move just stalls here for a moment. Cobb.
Contact, goal pass.
Purser. Purser gets a rare rebound off her own shot.
Goal pass.
Finnan and Devry have been taking most of them.
Crowd not too excited by Contact scoring.
Contact, goal tag.
We are at the State Sports Centre in Sydney, though, and that explains their lack of enthusiasm for the interstate team.
Contacts will get their chance come the finals in Adelaide. Because they're surely going to be there. Sanders wanting to take a centre pass that belonged to Darwood. Morgan. Again, another long shot.
Oh, what a beauty. Jo Morgan loves the long-range shots, loves the challenge.
He's put up 2 or 3 of the longer ones for the season, really.
Contact through the arm. Arm first.
Devry laughing at Delaney. I think both Devry and Finnan would enjoy the courtesy of being given the chance to recover. But Delaney wiping them away with the ball.
Advantage, causing contact, wing defence.
6 the lead, Sydney, with 2 minutes left until half-time. Just a missed time from Morgan, looking for the rebound.
The position was held beautifully by Harvey then.
Purser. Sanders, but choked on that side. Now the goalers get moving. It's pretty good pace in that circle. Delaney and Purser aren't lacking for speed. Finnan and Devry matching them.
No, it's the timing that's been out for them earlier on. Purser still a little early on her leads. That's a good one from Sutter to give them another chance.
Cole puts the foot down. And Purser. Finnan offloads to Devry as she started to fall out the back of the court.
Oh, and it's a crowded defence third for Sydney. Contax, if they'd scored from that intercept, would have really lifted. 2-on-1 for Morgan.
Play.
Darwood. Cusack. Well, instead of 24-27, it's 28-23. A costly turnover late in the quarter. It was one they could have done with just before the whistle. Last minute now. Darwood ambles up to the centre pass once more. Kenny to Cusack. Sanders jumps, can't take it. Darwood's just got a little bit of height on Rebecca Sanders.
Instruction, penny pass.
Timekeeper lets Nola Calnan know that we've had our second lot of 15 minutes. And Contax are back in this. They only trail by 4. It's 28-24 at half-time. The centre pass is with Contax and Rebecca Sanders as we begin the third. And just 4 goals the difference.
As you said, Steve, Contax winning the quarter. Sydney Energy sliding a little bit with Jo Morgan, 7 from 11. She recovered towards the end of the quarter to get 63%. 7 from 8 for Cusack. She's having a fine game. Adelaide Contax lifting with Purser. She puts 7 from 10 up. And Delaney coming through with the goods as well, 75%, 9 from 12.
So 22 shots to 19, an indication of possession enjoyed by Contax. To take that quarter by 2.
But there were signs in the second quarter of the Contax defenders lifting a little. Sutter and Hubby very quiet in the opening quarter. Sutter starting to slip out some touches.
Sutter, of course, having to leave the court in her most recent match through illness.
Manage obstruction.
She's playing just fine today.
Contact. Line goal circle area.
It's a problem if you decide to take the court and you're feeling unwell or even carrying a slight injury and it doesn't allow you to play to 100% and you're playing in front of national selectors. It can feel a little unfair if you're down a touch on form, and there's a perfectly good reason that may not be evident to other people.
I think the selectors pretty well had their ears to the ground on injury and illness in most of the camps, but yeah, you do run that risk. Because very often it can come down to stats, and by the time you look at the overall scenario across the league on stats, that one game of illness doesn't show up real well.
No.
Wing defender, Contact.
Kenny. Morgan made a great break to the post.
And Kenny is trying to make reference to that the ball was played onto the post and she'd rather it there than back on the transverse line.
Yep, would rather
You're not going to say
there.
something about it,
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Just hold on to that whistle, just a touch longer. Give me some more advantage.
Contact centre.
Darwood shows no emotion.
Vicky Neal. Rebecca Sanders, Audine Cobb. Sanders to Purser.
Under goal defence, penalty pass or shot.
One against Finnan. And a goal to Delaney. For the difference. Looks like a pretty even duel in the midcourt. And the pace of Cobb is really hard to deny.
I think that's been a problem for Kosofas, and she's no slouch in the speed department, but Cobb just seems to lift to another gear. I was just thinking the game's been quite measured, really. There's Marg Angove and Vicky Wilson. Still a worried expression on Marg's face as he watches Contax trail by 3. It's been quite physical in parts, but it's also been a very measured game. There's been control over the pace, and it's put down and pulled off with good control by both teams. Some great skills, perhaps one of the more skillful we've seen.
Morgan's got that long-range radar working again.
Adage, breaking. Out of defence.
Sydney protecting their 4-goal lead. Purser to Cobb. 4 players very close together.
Pass the shot, goal defence.
Kenny, Cusack. To Finnan.
Advantage obstruction, goal attack.
Morgan stationary at the moment. Now looks away from Sutter. But it's Contax.
This is an important play for Contax. This could be for just 2 the difference.
It's put up well for Purser over Finnan, and
That's twice we've seen 2 different occasions where Contax have had the chance to turn an intercept into something positive on the score sheet.
Elwood, Kenny, one hand takes it skillfully.
Contact wing.
Contact wing defence is Vicky Neal. That decision not enjoyed by the Contax bench.
And what could have been just 2 the difference is now back to 4.
Oh, a million miles an hour. Purser. They're scoring their own goals relatively comfortably now. Contax really struggled through the first 5 minutes of this match. And if they only lose it by 3 or 4, they'll look back in anger at that first 5 minutes.
It's happened to them a couple of times now in the league. It's perhaps something that Margangove will be looking to address, particularly in the forward line, their preparation going into the match.
Contact, shot or pass.
Cusack. Jenny Borlays, Garble and Australian goaler. Here with the other Australian squad members for a little training under Jill McIntosh. Quite a big representative season coming up for the Australian team. 3 tests against New Zealand in June, 1 against South Africa just prior to those. Morgan.
Great movement from Joe Morgan. Joey runs the base.
Carol Sykes pleased.
Well, they'd have enjoyed that because they've been trying to lift the amount of movement she offers in the line and gradually introduce it, and you can see it coming bit by bit. So some hard work paying dividends. It's been a long time coming, but signs of it now.
Toss up, Morgan and Sutter. Sutter goes to the floor.
She was shaken up. Harvey first to it. Nice and steady was the call from Margaret Angove. Harvey encouraging the side to drive the ball.
Neal to Cobb. They're trailing by 5. Oh, that pass is to nobody. Cobb and Purser looked at each other, but then realised it wasn't really their fault. Pass was right between them, and neither of them could get it. Finnan, Cusack.
Oh, nice movement. Good work from Darwood. She was integral in the defence outlet. Found the drive down.
No contact call there, just to throw it into Sydney. Cusack. Kenny. Midway through the 3rd quarter. And Sydney aren't giving Contax anything. Oh, Kenny just stood in the way a little of Harvey. And apologise for it.
Yeah, just cheated the line a little, and she was quick to get a touch to the shoulder of Harvey.
Purser. Whoa, nearly one wasted. Delaney was late putting up the left hand. but not too late. All right, Contacts in the next few minutes. Need a couple of turnovers. They don't want to go into the last quarter trailing by half a dozen. Morgan.
Well, she's comfortable at this range. Oh, not quick enough, though. She takes out Catherine Harvey.
Not for the first time. Harvey gets a good close look at the floor.
Harvey drives through, and just a clumsy challenge there from Jo Morgan.
Yeah, second look, really. I don't think that
I don't think it was
intentional.
No, I think she was just clumsy in the way she approached it, and it was as much to keep the arms up to stop from falling as anything else. It's just that Harvey got in her way.
Delaney.
Good touch from Devry.
They cannot afford any misses. Contacts.
Sharon Finnan really annoyed at the amount of physical challenge there is from the Contacts team. Appeals to the umpires.
Well, while she was looking for one contact, but she wasn't looking where she was going and ran into somebody else. So, you know, one compounded the other.
New pinball game, Sharon Finnan.
Replay, free pass.
Contacts not cherishing possession enough. And Finnan decides she'll sort out this problem of it being a physical game and hold a bit of space herself.
And there's a lot of whistle. I haven't seen more than 2 passes go unchecked.
Umpires will want to check. It's getting quite niggly out there.
Morgan just checks with the umpire to make sure that she wasn't going to get whistled. What a giveaway. Never look.
Stretching defence. Free pass.
Pacifist call for obstruction. Delaney must goal.
Contact, goal attack.
Devry. Under 5 minutes left in the third quarter.
It's imperative Contacts make good use of this. They've spoilt the last few opportunities. Only their forward line to look to in spoilt chances. Both in goal and in disposal and in contacts that they're giving away. This time Purser, who walks away from the mark, I mean, they could well have called that back because Purser had dropped right back from Devry and was just sitting in the circle by herself. Now, had that been intercepted, she would have been in an advantage position to where the penalty had been taken. Morgan takes string and ball and goal.
Well, Jo Morgan really hasn't been shaded by anybody this season. I think maybe Liz Ellis kept her a little quieter than she was used to, but they still came up with the win against Sydney Synovus.
Well, to her credit, there's been patches in this game where she looked like she was faltering. Second quarter, some loose hands, a couple of times in this, but she has recovered, and that's a new Jo Morgan, that she can go through the adversity as Darwood tries to whip it through from the air. Takes signage, ball girl.
Must have taken a bit of Sutter. It's still Sydney ball. Kenny Cusack.
Contact on the ball against Sutter. Cusack will have another chance. Again, the penalty count almost double against Contacts. 14 to them, only 8 to Energy.
Carol Sykes, Joe Kenny and Leanne McKilson, coach, manager and physio. Sydney, and they look like they've prepared the team for another win. 8 goals is the lead. Under 3 minutes left in the third. Delaney. Purser. Contacts in part can blame themselves for their situation. They've turned it over, as Harvey has done there, a number of times, or enough times to be closer than this. But when they've forced possession out of Sydney, they haven't always converted. Delaney.
That's a sweet shot from her.
This time they do.
4 from 7 for her, actually 4 from 7 for both.
Goal attack, only pass.
And Sydney Energy with their own misses at their end.
Morgan. And Sutter. Harvey. Oh, Cobb there passes under pressure now. It's a little freer.
Again, person not giving Finnan a chance to get back, and that's the first time it's really been acknowledged in the game. And listen to the crowd, they've been waiting for it. It's one thing to fake a player or to clear them off, but to deliberately wipe it at them without them having the time, that's a contact in its own right. And it's almost worth a warning. It's been a pattern for the game.
Sutter. Harvey. Oh, great skills. Runs out of court. A little exhausted. I think she'll be glad when this quarter's over. They fought hard for not much reward.
Debris up strong. Out of the circle and all.
Darwood to Kossifus. Kenny helps her out. Darwood in the corner. Morgan. Shuttle pass. They're enjoying a height advantage in some key positions, Sydney. Darwood has accepted some passes over the head of Sanders. Morgan a touch taller than Sutter.
Advantage obstruction.
Oh, Harvey disgusted.
Yeah, there's a bit of a push off from Cusack. I think that's what she was appealing for. Cusack, I think, has acknowledged it in Harvey's ear as they ran away together too.
Sorry about that, Harbs. Sure. Neil.
Pretty much an honesty code on court, though, between most of the top players, particularly those in the Australian squad. They'll acknowledge quietly and then get on with the business.
Distraction from behind, Dustin.
Purser gets one in just in time. Important that that one was scored with a timekeeper at Nola Callanan's side. Well, the match is still possibly contacted, but they've got to come out firing. It's 39-33. Contacts in possession as we begin the last quarter, but Sydney won the third by 11 goals to 9 and stretched their lead.
And possession not too far apart. 19 attempts for Sydney, 15 for contacts, and the accuracy fairly similar. So those few opportunities more for Sydney might have made the difference. 66 for Morgan, 50% for Cusack. So she really slid down in that third period. 62 for Purser at 5 from 8. Delaney, 4 from 7 at 57. So really all shooters on court would like to see those stats nudged up a little to finish.
A held ball against Cusack. The shot had missed anyway. Now, an immediate turnover here for contacts. They put the first one on the board in the last quarter. They could take some pressure off themselves if they got most of this lead back in the first 5 minutes. Let's see if they can. Delaney.
In the matches they've won, it's been Harvey and Sutter that have lifted the team.
That's a lifter from Delaney. 6-goal lead is now only 4. Oh, Devery unlucky. Oh, takes it quickly. Oh, Purser. That was just a little flat arriving at the hoop. Kossifus, Kenny.
Contact outside, goalkeeper, penalty pass.
Morgan looking to do a little running out of the circle in the first couple of minutes.
Pass taken.
Hasn't affected his shooting any. Good strong goal to open for Sydney.
Cusack. Morgan stays back this time. Over the top it goes. Well placed and quickly delivered by Kenny. Kossifus obstruction. Cobb takes it quickly.
Cobb was looking to keep the momentum going. It was a very quick play of the centre, but the shooters not backing up with quick offers. Oh, Harvey, brilliant.
Cobb.
Catches Finnan out of position too, which was the beauty of that intercept so deep down.
Delaney shoots over Finnan.
Delaney's opened well, 3 straight. How often is it the last quarter that's her best?
Cusack, Darwood, Kenny. Good timing on the move from Morgan. Just made herself available to Cusack's pass.
I still think that should be worth 2. I know the critics would tell me that's basketball, but there's something extra sweet about a long-range shot that just takes net.
Delaney. Oh, what do you get for that one? 3. It bounced 3 times.
Well, you lose your breath because trying to blow that one in.
Dalwood. Kenny. So Contax got it back to 4. And then let it go again with a couple of turnovers themselves, or 1. Cobb. Delaney.
Well, she thought about that too long. If she'd let it go when she first considered it, it would have been fine. But she thought so long, Dalwood caught up to Sanders' position. Oh, great rebound from Purser. How she got through Devry, I'm not sure.
Well, there's not much of her. Anyone a little wider wouldn't have got through. Contax need pressure over every pass. They've got to draw an error. Sanders so nearly.
No, nearly's on wing defence.
Advantage contact and offside.
You're a good teacher.
Morgan.
5 straight for Joanne Morgan. Most impressive on court in this final quarter. Delaney 5 from 6. Cusack has had none. Purser, 1 attempt, no goals.
Kossifas
charges it down, but a few too many steps. She enjoyed the run. So did a coach. Applauds the effort.
Purser. Delaney. Pulls it back to 5. Still over 10 minutes left in the match. Time enough for Contax. They've got to give Sydney the squeeze, though. Well, Cusack was open at the back.
That's a call for sandwiching, I think. That was the visual indication from Janice McKercher.
I don't know what Harvey and Sutter were up to there, because Cusack was just calling out for the ball, quite unattended. Anyway, penalty went for something that happened to Morgan. Here we are with Delaney. Kenny. Sutter. Okay, this one must be converted. I just think that when they get a turnover around, they get a little bit more anxious about making it count.
Yeah, there could be a little bit of adrenaline overkill. Although Delaney, best on court, 8 from 9. It's interesting, there's only 2 shooters operating in the final quarter. It's Morgan for Energy and it's Delaney for Contax.
Sanders to Cobb.
Contax, they've failed when they've come around the 3-4 margin. If they could just crack it to 2, I think they'd almost be in there. And you see the defence line, they're off camera, left to screen. Sutter, hands in the air, clapping. Harvey too, trying to G up their line. This is it, they say. This is the break, and of course it's their skipper that hauls it in. And every time Contax have made a run at someone this season, Harvey and Sutter have initiated it. Oh, good decision by Neil, because Kenny was drifting back onto Harvey.
Cobb to Sanders.
Important shot for Purser.
45-43.
And here it is. It starts with Harvey and the backup, the support play from Sutter. Neil quick to get it into attack. They play it to Sutter until it opens at the front.
Kossifas.
And that's against Delaney for not allowing Kossifas room to land. That was well played by Kossifas. That might have been a match saver.
Dalwood. Oh, Sydney very patient about this build-up.
Under the ball in the fence, outside.
Contact against Vicky Neal. Pressure's really been upped by Contax, and that one against Cusack. Carol Sykes grabs the forehead, then the mouth.
Harvey allowed to go and get the ball herself. Kenny wasn't going to do it for her. She has to stand on the mark, of course. Harvey. Cobb. The difference is 2. We've got 7 minutes to go.
Sorry, Steve. Kosofas working really well over the ball for Sydney.
Purser.
That was on the hand from Finnan. Purser will get a second chance. And Delaney takes it. And interesting, the penalty count has swung in this final quarter. 10 against Sydney Energy, only 4 against Contax.
Finnan to Dalwood. Kenny. Cusack. Well, the crowd trying to lift Sydney Energy now. I know that this is a match that could go either way again. Delaney. Finnan. And contact against Delaney. Devry has it. Oh, how did that happen?
I think that was indecision on Finnan's part, and she changed her mind as she was about to release. Well, Delaney's got to make them drop.
Well, that contact's gone against Finnan, though, so Purser can pop it in. Smiles on the contact's faces on the bench. Sydney under some pressure with a little over 5 minutes to go.
I have to remind viewers, both teams are undefeated to this point. So this one's for pride and possibly for the #1 spot.
The timing on the take from Cusack, the jump allowed a closer position. Harvey. Oh, Dalwood, always hers. Strong under the ball was Morgan.
And we see Contax in possession. The intercept comes from Dalwood and a quick release high up to Morgan.
Another one, and Sydney suddenly just breathing a little easier.
Morgan 8 straight. Is she running it home for a team or what? Delaney had been equally on target, but she's faltered just the last couple of moments.
Purser goals. Well, they're playing this with an intensity and a crowd participation of those only 90 seconds left, but there's 4.5.
Contact centre. There was the ball, only pass energy outside.
Chopping at the ball is the call from Janice McKercher against Vicky Neal.
Well, that was nearly 3 seconds against Susie Kenny.
Clapping, but they're tense. Well, this top position, come the semi-finals, will be much prized. Down goes Delaney and Finnan, and Nola Calnan wants a toss. Ouch! I heard that, and that was a bad fall for Sharon Finnan. She might only be winded, but it was heard all around the room, I think. And I think her feet just went straight out from under her. Perhaps some perspiration on the floor now.
That's what it looked to be, and of course there'd been a nasty fall moments before between her and Delaney. Finnan, I thought, got a little bit under Delaney on the prior one. That last one, though, I think, as you say, feet just out from under her, and she just took the whole brunt of the fall. There's no gradual descent, that's for sure.
Totally unexpected.
Obviously taken a good load of it on her left wrist. That's where the ice is being applied.
By Leanne McKilson.
Sydney could probably well do with a chance to catch their breath. Contacts have been running at them. Pass the Devry test.
Well, everyone seems satisfied now as Purser recommences. 3 is Sydney's lead, and they have possession through Kenny, Morgan. Kenny.
Outside penalty pass. Outside first infringement, free pass
Vicky
inside.
Neal, Rebecca Sanders looking to deny every pass that Sydney make around the edge of the circle.
Contact, penalty pass. pass or
Not
shot?
so
I'll
subtle challenge from Sutter.
Joe Morgan.
Done energy.
Possession still with Sydney. I guess they don't mind if the clock's wound down like this.
Free pass.
They lead it by 3. 3 to go.
And the play not being slowed down as much by Sydney Energy as it is from the Contac's constant challenges outside the circle. They're going offside with every challenge, and that, of course, has to be acknowledged by umpires. That's what's eating up the time.
At last, the turnover happens.
There is, of course, Steve, a strong ethic in netball that any deliberate slowing down of the game or playing the ball around is penalised in our sport. It's not in the spirit of the game.
Contact goal defence.
Haven't seen it penalised.
It's been warned at national level. Whilst it's not actually in the rule book, there's a strong ethic in coaching that doesn't encourage one team to play or freeze the ball. There's been, in years gone by, various warnings issued to sides that have employed that.
Opportunities running out now for Contax. 4 is the lead. Delaney had to shoot early with time running out, and Finnan was sure with the rebound. Kenny, Finnan.
Footwork called, but Harvey the intercept anyway.
Cobb. So Contax down and running out of time. 1.5 minutes left. Sanders, Delaney. She shoots from there. It's a long way out. Sweet.
Hold time, please. Whistle.
Dalwood dawdles back. Time called for a second by Nola Calden. The clock stopped, I guess, for all of 2 seconds. Cusack.
Contact goal attack.
Contact against Cusack. 65 seconds. Do something about a 2-goal deficit. Sanders. 3 it is, I beg your pardon. The scoreboard here sometimes clicks over a little too quickly. It was reading 51-49 prematurely. Now it is 51-49. It's a long-standing fault with the scoreboard here at the State Sports Centre. Devery to Finnan. And the timekeeper will be up momentarily. And I think Sydney are going to squeak home.
Contact goal attack. Honey pass.
Finnan. Dalwood.
Contact goal defence. You're banging into her. Honey pass.
Janice McKercher saw that as against Harvey, and Cusack puts in the last of the match because the timekeeper says that's all. Nola Calnan blows to end it. And 52-49, Sydney Energy win a great match against Contax, and Contax coming back strongly in the last quarter, but running out of time and not quite treasuring their turnovers enough to overhaul Sydney. And Sargent is with Joe Morgan.
Thanks, Steve. Well, Joe Morgan, thank goodness for a great opening quarter.
Yeah, I think that saved us, but we've also got to work on 4 quarters of netball, not just the 1 quarter. So there's a bit of work to go, but it's encouraging for us to start off really strong during the game.
Well, that is the case. She had a great opening against Garville and went to sleep, not against Garville, against another match, and went to sleep a little throughout that match. So there's a quarter where you sometimes slacken off. But you held up to the pressure well this time, and great in goals, a good effort from you.
Yeah, I've been really happy with my goals. Some are a bit off, but it's great having Nikki there and Sue supporting. And I really feel at the crunch time that's when I need to put them in, and I'm glad they went through.
Well, there's no doubt about that, and you certainly like the long-range shots. We've also noticed a lot more movement